that's constantly changing. How can I be sure where I stand with you? Whenever I am away from you, I wanna die. 'Cause you know I wanna stay with you. How do I know? Maybe you're trying to use me, flying too high and confuse me. Touch me but don't take me down. Whenever I am away.
And Marc is with us now. Morning, Marc. Thanks for joining us.
Steph. How are you?
Very well.
Good.
Really lovely to see you. How does it feel watching that and knowing you've created it? Because I could see you kind of singing along a bit there.
Yeah, well, it's kind of great. I mean, it was great because we actually got some of the rights to use some of the kind of like logos of Ready, Steady, Go. And there's a Ready, Steady, Go connection, actually, because apart from the fact I used to watch it as a kid, and I loved it and everything, my American-based manager and one of my great friends and was the booker and the producer of Ready, Steady, Go, a lovely lady called Vicky Wickham. So she tells me all fantastic stories about that time, booking all the different bands. She's the lady that didn't book David Bowie for the show.
Oh no! Wow.
But she booked Mark Bolan for the show. His first ever TV appearance of Mark Bolan. So she's forgiven for that.
Yeah, I think she is.
And in terms of selecting the songs on the album, I mean, obviously it's a period that has greatly inspired so many. How did you get that shortlist down to what actually made the album list?
With great difficulty, because I make a huge list of songs. It's just a case of working through them. I mean, the brief for this album was to do an orchestral album of cover songs. And of course, when you think that, you think, well, I'm going to go with an orchestra, and it could end up being an album of standards. That there's a type of songs which are great, kind of Billie Holiday, Frank Sinatra, etc., and which many people do. But I thought I wanted to do an album that was more of a pop record. So I chose the 60s because the 60s has that great songs that have melody and pop and orchestral arrangements. You go back to the beginning of the 60s, you've got the teenage angst songs of people like Billy Fury and things, and then later in the 60s you've got the psychedelia and the kind of George Martin, the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's. So it's a great decade for a great pop meets classical.
And you mentioned that about the orchestra because you're going on tour with them, aren't you, as well?
I'm on tour. I'm doing a huge tour actually, starting on the 3rd of October, officially on the 3rd of October in London, going all through the country. You can see all the details on my website and Instagram and Twitter and everything else.
Have you done that with an orchestra of that size before?
I did a concert last year actually with the Leeds College of Music students. I did a big orchestral concert, and the theme was 20th century torch songs, and I wanted to continue that theme on this album. Really great love angst ballads and big voice ballads. So it was great working with them. We had a 50-piece people on stage, and this is going to be great as well. I've got an orchestra, band, I've got brass strings, a choir, a great sort of singer section. So we can do songs from the album, plus also songs from my back catalogue, a few favourites as well in there as well. So working in this way is going to be great.
We can see a bit of you performing Tainted Love on Top of the Pops back in the day. I mean, but Soft Cell actually broke up, didn't they, in 1984? Sort of 5 years together with David Ball. When you look back on that time now, do you feel it all came to an end too soon?
Maybe sometimes. I think sometimes, yeah. I think it would have been nice to maybe sort of calm down a bit. Everything was so intense over that first few years that we kind of felt we kind of burnt out a bit quickly, really. But it would have been nice to maybe sit back and remember. But you know, Dave and I, we came back together in 2000 to do an album, Cruelty Without Beauty, which was great. And next year is 40 years of Soft Cell. 40 years of my career, actually, next year. So maybe we'll celebrate in some way. There's a box set of Soft Cell coming out next year and things and various stuff, so maybe there'll be some other celebrations.
And given, as you said there, you know, you've been in the industry for a long time.
A long time. Yeah. Well, I was in my first band about 16 or 17, sort of singing hits of the day in a local group, really, sort of playing sort of discos and things like that. So it's been even longer than 40 years, actually.
And has your feeling for it changed in that time, would you say?
No, I think when you get older, you just have to keep going. You know, keep on going. When I was approaching my 60th birthday, I thought I got quite depressed actually for about a week or so before. thought, this can't happen to me, this wasn't meant to happen. And then it happens and life just carries on as normal. But I think the thing you have to do is you just have to keep working, have to keep doing things. It's just business as usual, making records, doing concerts. Maybe I won't do a tour as big as this. This is an 18-date tour. And I did say a couple of years ago, I'm not going to do big tours anymore. and so I'm thrown into this 18-date tour, the biggest tour I've ever done. But it's probably one last big fling, while the energy is still there, I think.
Well, what's good is listening to you again describe it, you've clearly got still that same amount of passion you had when you first started, and that's why our viewers wouldn't have seen it, but when Cressida Cowell left the sofa, you were fascinated by listening to her and her passion for what she's doing, and you sort of saying, I love listening to you.
It's beautiful, the illustrations, fantastic, great. It was, and she is very passionate, and I think you have to be very passionate about what you do. You must never lose that. You must never sit down, take too much time off. Always good to have a holiday, but never take too much time off. You've got to throw yourself back into work again, onto the next project, the next thing, whatever it is, whether it's a big project, small project, and enjoy it.
I tell you what, you've got so much energy as well. What do you do to relax? Do you ever chill out?
I get very little relaxation time. I mean, I do. I mean, I love theatre. I love the movies. I love going to see as much theatre as I can. Ballet, actually. I go to ballet as much as I can. I love ballet. Ever since I was kind of a teenager, I love ballet, especially experimental ballet, people like Ballet Rambert and things like that. So I go to, I do find time to chill out.
Good. Yeah.
I hope you've been singing a few Russian folk songs as well in you.
I'm going to be, I'm always, I'll be doing we're doing one or two actually. It'll be a good varied show, I think. Obviously the new album, some favourites, a couple of surprises maybe from my back catalogue. Maybe a Russian song or two with the choir and the orchestra and stirring songs, I think. It's all going to be quite a stirring show, I think.
Oh, well, it sounds brilliant. And Mark, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us.
And the album's out on Friday.
Yeah, we were just going to say that. Don't worry, we've got that next.
Here comes a double plug. The album,
don't say that.
Shadows and Reflections, and it's out on the 22nd of September. Marc Almond, great to see you.
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you. That's all we've got time for this morning.